In the dawning of time, before the ages of men, there were no creatures, only the murder men.
All right, here we go. We got Grill Daddy D in the house. We got Ben Price coming on in here. Hey, fellas, how you doing today? All right. Take it like a secret. Gonna pretend nobody's around. Gonna look like a little cat. And I'm not gonna wear a frown. Break it down now. Well, look at my penis, look at my balls, look at my butthole, and pick it up. Okay, I'm gonna. That was. I had like way better ideas than that. And that was
No, that was beautiful.
All right.
Like,
well,
he wanted to get my cat and just show her the whole time you were singing that.
Okay. So
eloquent.
well, but when I feel a song, I'll get started again. But for now, that's our intro for today. So cool. All right, how are you guys doing? Yeah, welcome to Murder Band. I have stuff. We have things to talk about. First off, you guys heard of drag syndrome?
No.
Is
Drag
this a really
syndrome.
bad joke?
No. It's
a drag.
It's a very, very good like name for a company. It's an actual company called Drag Syndrome in England, I think is where they're based. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's people with Down syndrome and they're doing drag. And it's fucking fabulous. I don't have anything queued up. I had stuff queued up.
You didn't come prepared?
Not with that one. Not with that one. I'm still shaky from that song. I still feel like can I do it
No,
again?
it was good.
Can I do it again? Let me do it again. Hold on.
Wait, are you gonna close the meeting again?
No, I won't start the meeting.
They're like, do over,
I gotta
guys.
do the song. That song. Somebody give me a subject, and I'll go from there.
Panda sex.
Porn.
Panda sex. And
Panda porn.
Panda porn.
I want to be a grown up. I want to.
You want to be a real?
I want to
be
a
real artist.
Brussels sprouts.
Artists.
That's grown up.
Artists and artists. I'm just gonna go with artists.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf. Because then you can talk about the food or the singer.
Oh, there you go.
Or Rocky
both.
Horror.
Nope.
We're
Nope.
soft to
Do it
do.
again.
it's
Do
overdone.
it again. Yo, you ever been an artist? You ever had art displayed in a place of reputable art? And there's other things too that could have been art, like rap, crap. No, we're not going there. We're gonna do it's art. Hold on. Let me start over, you guys. My name is Art, and I'm here to say that I'm all the best in the USA. I got big ol' arts and I big ol' ass, and I'll shake it like a. Okay, hold on. I almost. No. Okay.
No.
Let me try again.
No. No.
Yeah. My name is Art. I know the crap is gonna make you cool and make you rap. You like a big old peanut. Hey, you got some rap? You got rap from me, and I'll trap that shit and put it in a basket. Put it in a pedestal and then put a light over it. And then people walk in and they're looking at the thing and they're like, oh my God, I like the way that it looks and plays in. It's got some shades in, it's got some rays that I don't even know if that's got flow in it. Oh, that one doesn't look very good. It looks like a piece of crap in a vase. I crapped in a vase. Today I'm back. On your face in a vase. I crapped in a vase. On your face in a vase. Trapped in there. Shit. In there. Vase. Trapped in there. Yeah. Shit. Break it down for your mama. Vase. Trapped in there. Yeah. Shit. On your face in a vase. Trapped in there. Yeah. Shit. On your face in a vase. Trapped in there. Yeah. Shit. On your face in a vase. Trapped in there. Yeah. Break it down. Okay. I feel better about that one. I feel better about that one.
That was good. How did you do the like echoey effect? That was fucking cool.
There's no echoey effect. I'm just that good, man. I just had so much.
That's just your vocal cords. They can just produce sounds like that.
I had so much flow going on right there that it. Okay, that is the precedent that I've now set. I have to do better than that every week, and I don't think it's not a very high bar to try and achieve. Okay, so I was talking about drag syndrome. You guys heard of drag syndrome? Okay, it's an Instagram group. Okay, it's an Instagram group, and they have Down syndrome, and they do drag, and that's it. And there's Jason Bond, who is this young fellow, and he draws on a beard around his face. Bond. It's not that interesting if I don't have pictures. It's just me talking about it.
I'm looking them up right now.
Okay, wait. No, I have something. I had something, and for some reason, Google decided not to open up and show the thing, but I had a thing. I wanted to know about, do you guys remember furniture humping?
No.
You don't remember furniture
Am I supposed to remember?
Does anybody remember Yeah, okay. That's Jason Bond. He's the shit.
Oh, sweet.
And like his shirt says hashtag I'm not your fucking punchline. Yeah. And it's awesome. Like, here's the thing. So there's this thing called task analysis, and it's the process of breaking down an activity or a task into like very manageable steps with a client with a disability. Yeah. No, that shoot's fantastic. And they're all like Jason's got like dolls and she's going like, or they are going like, and it's awesome. You guys need to check them out. Drag syndrome. There's another one where the person they live with, I think, or maybe it was just while they were touring, but they were doing a drink video of a gin and tonic, their favorite drink, and they were showing everybody how to do it. And I was watching. I was like, oh my God, they're doing drag shows, but they're doing task analysis too. That's amazing. And like, it just made me fall in love with that group. So it's not as interesting as I would have hoped it was. I had so many pictures. I was going to show you guys furniture humping. I want to talk about furniture humping, but
what happened to the pictures?
Google's not coming up for some reason. Google's been a real bitch this week. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Maybe I can pull up furniture humping for you guys, but has nobody seriously heard of furniture humping?
I mean, my grandma's Chihuahua does it.
No, it's not.
I was about to say, like, dogs do it every day. Yeah.
It's no joke. I was like, how do I define this? I don't know how to like look up this video. And literally,
you stick your dick between two couch cushions?
No. I believe that's the old slip and stick.
Couch cushions?
Here we go.
That's a rug rub.
Okay. I'm going to share my audio. It might be too loud for you guys, just heads up. But this is furniture humping dance crew.
Look at this.
Oh, Taylor,
you're up next.
What's up?
What was that, Elijah?
The up next one.
Dude, look at your adult swim recommended for you, but you've already watched it. That's the worst part.
The salad mixer is amazing, bro. This, and it's, look, it's the same. It's the same thing.
They call me
Pressure.
Did we just watch an orgy?
I don't know.
Did I just watch porn for the first time in my life?
That was the place where I first heard that song.
Delicate little flower.
Whap, whap, what?
That song, that
That's
was
the first time you ever heard Pony?
Mhm.
Pony is my jam.
Where did furniture humping come from? Okay, this is something I've been like
Not
kind of
Pony.
fascinated with for years. Why? We like kind of already know like boys are penis jokes and blah 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 blah, and boys in general are fascinated with their penises. Here's my thing. Literally, like I got shamed out of this. Why are there dudes talking about boners with each other? Like, why? I don't understand strip clubs. Does anybody else here?
Like,
I don't.
Female strip clubs, male strip clubs.
I understand why
male-
people go, but I've never.
I guess strip
Have
clubs.
you ever been
in
to a
general,
strip club, Taylor?
it's not. Yes, and you know what? I felt shame the whole time I was there.
I didn't feel shamed.
You know
I
what?
felt hunted. Honestly,
My cousin was there
those
too.
girls are working hard, and let me tell you something. I felt like a prey animal in the middle of the savannah. That's
Yeah.
how I felt.
They definitely like. Okay, so when I went to a strip club, it was my 18th birthday, and I told my cousin and I told all my friends from Bakersfield and stuff, like, you guys told me for years you were going to take me to a strip club, and that's what I want to go do. And
you initiated it.
Mhm. And I mistakes on my end. Yeah, no, I'll admit that first and foremost. So they were like, let's go to the strip club. And the strip club I actually went to is down the street from Ben's mother's house.
Wait, which one? Is it?
Right? There's two of them.
What?
There's two of them.
What?
Not teaser pleaser.
What?
I didn't mean it like. I didn't
They're
mean like which one. I've
all-
been to them all. I just mean like.
They're all
What's the
I'm
name of the
sure
place?
that's what you meant then.
Bakersfield
Like
put up
Bianca? Did
this
you
law.
see Bianca? I love Bianca.
No joke. It's literally a law that like all of the disreputable things in Bakersfield go in the disreputable parts of town. So all of the strip
I'm
clubs
obsessed.
are
So
on
where
the
all the minorities live, right?
Mhm. Basically, it's more where like the poor
Well,
white
it's
the
it's
poor
the poor white place.
the poor black and Mexican people. Yeah, those are the areas that are getting the less economic boosts.
Yes.
Entirety of the city. But in terms of the poor white place, that's where the strip club is, because that's where all the poor white people are choosing to go and stuff like that. And like, I mean, but poor black people too are probably choosing to go there too. And I don't know where all the strip clubs are, but I do know that as far as the law goes, that all of the strip clubs go in this one stretch of area. And so
you have a red light
It's on a
district.
strip?
Congratulations.
yeah, it's kind of like a strip. You know where it is? You guys love Buck Owens, don't you?
What?
You ever heard of Buck Owens Crystal Palace?
Was that English?
Buck Owens? Ever heard of Buck Owens?
They're not from Bakersfield, Taylor. They don't know who Buck
Good,
Owens is.
good. Thank God you don't know about Buck Owens, because I don't fucking stop hearing about it from people in Bakersfield. They're all like, Buck
People are
Owens, look at
obsessed with
this.
him.
But like, I will fuck
What?
with Golden Corral.
It's good music. It's not bad music. Ben's
It's cool,
dad,
yeah.
like, it's
Golden Corral.
studied a lot of it.
Wait, what?
Wait,
is
both
Buck
my
Owens?
parents-
It's not a
both parents
Golden
do it.
Corral?
Buck Owens is the known musician.
That's the most Bakersfield-y statement.
It's a
We
music.
go to Golden Corral every day.
You know what? I'm not gonna identify. So they were a musician from Bakersfield that founded the Bakersfield sound, and it's what people traditionally consider to be the Bakersfield's country style of music. And anyway, none of that is important. So I'm at the strip club, and while I'm there, like, it's really, really dark, first off, but like all the people are going up there dancing, and I'm not interested. Yeah, it's like that's the music that's going, and I'm just walking in like a whippersnapper. My thing was like, I asked all my friends as a rite of passage. Honestly, I was more interested in going to a gay club. I was more interested in like going down to LA and going to Tiger Heat or that's the only one. Rage is
I was
another
like,
gay club I know about.
I don't even know any.
Something fun. Right?
Yeah, I wanted to go do something fun for my 18th birthday, but I was like, you know what? We're in Bakersfield. Fuck it. Let's go to the strip club. You guys, you always said to go to the strip club was a rite of passage. It wasn't a good one. So we go to the strip club, and like it's dark, and all the girls are going up. And my biggest fascination is, wow, these girls are athletic. Like these girls,
Yeah, they are.
like I saw Cirque du Soleil, or not
Mhm.
Cirque du Soleil. I saw fucking Pippin when I was working at Pantages, and they lost a girl in that. These girls would have been just as good in Pippin. These girls would have been good replacements for Pippin.
Mhm.
Some of them, this one chick starts, like, she has no boobies, but then she starts, like, moving them independently like she does. And then she goes up into the rafters and then clothes just start dropping down and she comes back down and she has all her clothes in her hands. She had extra clothes, you guys. And so like, I was like, wow, the sheer athleticism on display here is to be admired. And at one point, somebody goes, hey, Taylor, do you want us to buy you a dance? We'll buy you a dance. I saw this as like a fun novelty thing. I wasn't really thinking like that. And so I was like, yeah, guys, buy me a lap dance. And we're watching. And then this one chick goes up and she's got giant boobs and she's in all leather. And just one thing, I was like, hey, you guys, she's playing Marilyn Manson for her song. That's fucking cool. And they're like, do you want to dance from her? And I was like, yeah, she's got good taste in music. She's cool. And so they call her over. I'm like fucking uncomfortable because here's the thing. I am not just with a bunch of fellows. They're mostly gay men. In fact, I believe besides one person who was in his 50s at the time, they were all gay men. And then 2 women. One girl was a girl I went to high school with. And the other girl was my cousin, who is 9 years older than me. So she'd always seen me as like her little kid brother type. So she orders me this strip dance thing. And I get taken. I'm 18. I just turned 18.
No. How old are you?
28. This was 9 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I get taken to the back room area, right? And hearing the rules like there's no touching, there's blah 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 blah.
It's
so
like getting on a ride at Disneyland.
Yeah, it kind of is
Your
like
arms
a ride.
and legs in the vehicle at all times.
You go in the back like closet thing, and it kind of like is a ride at Disneyland. There's cushions and everything. And I'm just thinking like somebody's jizzed in my spot before. It's disgusting. And I'm sitting there. She starts doing her dance. She's hot, whatever. And then, I mean, me being the nervous individual I am, I'm just sitting there and I'm like watching, not moving at all. And I go, well, it's an interesting policy, that no touch policy, huh? Because that would be cool. And she was like, she goes, you pay a little extra and you can touch anywhere you want. And I was like, okay. And then I just like didn't pay any money the whole strip dance. After about, I think it was like 3 or 5 minutes or something like that, she was like, all right, time's up. Do you want to put more in? And I was like, I'm good. And I just like left. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I didn't bust or anything. I went and they were all like, that was it? Did you pay for more? And I was like, I didn't know what to do, so I just didn't pay anything. And they were like, are you finished?
You didn't even tip her?
Well, they were like, are you finished? And I was like, I don't even think I started. Like, so that's my only experience in the strip club. So my question is like, why are there dudes who are okay getting boners around each other? Like that to me is something I feel I've been ashamed of and been told to be ashamed of. Not to mention, I mean, I guess I've always watched movies and stuff where dudes are going to the strip club and like, I got a boner, check it out, it's so hard. But like, I've always been like, why are there dudes paying money to go get boners together? I don't get that. I guess
experience.
That's where you put it that way.
Well, yeah, you have to have like a voyeurism thing or something to it, right? You kind of have to be like, what?
It's kind of like Santa Claus. And I only mean by this it doesn't sound crazy until you really dissect it. Really think about Santa Claus. Some dude goes into your house while you're sleeping, and you're okay with that? No.
Think about an electrician. Some guy goes to your house.
Strip clubs sound wild when you dissect it like that. Ben, have you been to a strip club before?
No, I've never. Well, I guess I've been to multiple places in Vegas that had strippers.
He's like, I've been to a Green Valley cabaret. Does that count?
I've been to a club where people were stripping and rubbing their titties on me for money.
Does that count?
No, I've never been to a strip club before. Why?
Well, no,
Why?
I've gone to a bar in Vegas where they did like body shots where they got on you, shots. Does that count as a strip club?
No,
I don't think
it's
it
not
does.
close. It's not nearly as sticky.
They didn't get naked. Yeah.
The exchange of
Not nearly
fluids
that
that you remove from one bottle,
Gross
put
and
it on a
bad.
person's
Ugh.
body, and then you drink it. That is like bathing in somebody's bathwater.
Are you talking about body shots right now?
Yeah.
But people
Yeah.
buy bath water.
I'm now thinking about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, people buy bathwater, and like,
A gamer go bath water.
okay, I think I
Yeah, this
answered
place
my
was
own
also
question.
kind of like, it was like lower grade Vegas also.
Diana,
Like,
have
it was
you
not
been
top
to
tier
strip club?
Vegas.
No, I was supposed
Jamie?
to because I have friends. I have friends that strip, so I was supposed to.
Yeah, I
go
was gonna say,
watch
like, yeah,
them.
we have friends who are strippers.
Yeah, so I was supposed to go watch them, but it was like every time I tried to go, my friends never wanted to go, and I didn't want to go by myself, and so
Yeah,
I
of
never
course.
gone. And like
Of course.
honestly, I see half the things that they do anyway in our shows that we do together.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
My brother's ex-boyfriend bought me my
eventually.
first porn. Or my brother's ex-boyfriend. My brother's ex-fiance girlfriend bought me my first porno.
I've never watched porn in my life.
Yes.
Diana, stop lying.
Wait, were you actually?
No.
I can't tell if you're serious or
No,
not.
Stop
No.
lying.
no, dead ass. Nobody ever believes me. I don't get it.
What the
I don't
fuck?
get it. I
It's
don't
Oh,
the
do
get
you
same
it.
prefer
deal.
novels?
I don't get it. I literally, I
It
just
adds
don't.
to the
Do you
mystery.
prefer, do you
No.
prefer erotic literature instead?
No, no,
What
like I just
we're
don't get it.
Uncovering then, right, is that like you have to have had some sort of, and maybe unwitting, unwilling, or unknowing reason to have invested time in something like this before you can go like, yeah, I like having a boner next to my buddy's head. He's cool. Like that's what it takes, right? Is to get a boner with your buddy Ted while somebody rubs their titties on you. And then it's like you guys
That
have
doesn't
this.
sound enjoyable.
Wait,
You
are you
haven't
saying
even
this is
deeper
how
bond.
people
I
like?
prefer to go alone. I think I
How-
prefer to go alone.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds
Same
more
here.
sad. You want to have a boner around strangers?
Listen,
Ugh.
man.
I'd
be
rather have a
honest with
boner
you.
around my
So
buddy.
basically, just
I've
in
been to strip
general,
club
like
twice.
in public, it's
Yeah.
Mhm.
not.
Hey, that, you know what? My two best friends too. I was thinking about this today. My two best friends growing up, they were Mormon, and if they listen to this, they probably shut it off already. But like they, I remember one time trying to talk about jerking off
Mormons
with
are
my
fun.
friend when we were like 16 or 17, and I was like, yeah, tell me about it. And he was like, I don't do that. And then just like that was shut down, and we never talked about it again.
Did you ever
so-
talk again?
No, we talked a lot until senior
Okay.
year, and then we didn't talk for like a couple of years.
Yes,
and then we were
Because
friends
his rum springer
Was
was
it because
over.
you
what?
brought it up again?
Yeah, right.
Brought
Uh,
up jerking off again?
no, you know what?
Tell us more
They're-
about Jedediah, please.
they're good fellows too, and that's the interesting thing is that like everybody
I'm sure
else,
they're
you
good
know,
people. I'm sure.
yeah, everybody else is always like they do have their explanation of Mormonisms. I've talked to my friends about Mormonism, and they're literally like, "Look, we get it. Like, we get where you're coming from. It sounds a little ridiculous. I don't care. They're still Mormon. They have great families, and they got a bunch of kids. They both went to college and like passed with flying colors. One of my friends is an economics doctor now. Like, he's like got his degree in it and everything.
Fancy.
My other friend started flying planes for a while because that's what he wanted to do. I think he's still doing it. So it's just like they, and you know what? They came to me a while ago and talked to me about some shit. I found out that my best friend Brendan, when he moved away when we were 15, that he actually had a really, really hard time. And one of the biggest reasons was because he went there expecting like the church would understand and be accepting and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And they kind of just wanted him to shut it down and move on from it, from moving away and losing his friends and stuff. And then I find out, like, you know, this was like 3-4 weeks ago, that basically my best friend saw me as his best friend. Like, that's what ended up happening. So it's like, it's weird for me to talk about Mormonism at any time because everybody else does see it as a cult. I genuinely don't. I see it the same as every other religion out there, personally.
They're all cults.
I find that fair. I have family who are Jehovah's Witnesses, and there's a lot of jokes about them.
But they're good
Mhm.
people, and you know that.
They're wonderful people. Don't get it twisted.
Mhm.
It's
You
like,
just-
what is it? People go with what they see as life is helping them the most.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
so, you know,
Well, I
Mormons,
mean,
they have a
when you-
good safety net.
When you think about it though, like when you really actually think about it, every religion you could pull stuff out of and be like they're fucking crazy. But you have to think that, like, I think for Mormons almost specifically, became a meme when the Book of Mormon came out.
Yeah.
Because I talked to somebody once who tried to give me like this whole conversation on Mormons and like how culty they were, and like I said, every religion is a cult. You know what I mean? But like every fact they told me, I was like, where did you learn all of this? Everything they knew about Mormons was from the musical.
And that's what most people know it from, is from
Exactly.
South Park too.
And yeah, the people who created the Book of Mormon are the people that created South Park.
You know who's got the best jokes about Mormons is Mormons. The people who think that Mormonism is the most ridiculous, Mormons. Oddly enough, I mean, I really think that it
depends on the
system.
Mormons.
Well, I do think that it depends on the Mormons. I think if they've been through something that is pushing them towards the direction of a heavy religion influence, that obviously they're going to eat up the golden plates and everything.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, I think a lot of Mormons are coming from the standpoint of, look, they've taken care of my family. I have a job because of them. I got to go to school. All my friends are Mormon, and they've always taken care of me. And even if I disagree with them on some things, we just don't talk about it and we get along.
Well, I mean, it's also, you know, the comfort of what you know. You know what I mean?
Well, then I think the third party actually is all the people high up who are probably going, if too many people don't believe in our religion and people start to find out that we're making money from this, we're fucked. And I mean, genuinely, the problem is the Mormon Church has a lot of funds tied up in the state and in the Federal Reserve and stuff like that, and all of these patents. They have patents on a bunch of drugs for pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. It's kind of obvious what's going on in a lot of ways to a lot of Mormons, and I think that they're ready to cut the bullshit out. So it's in the same way the rest of us are developing right now. That's the thing that I think is so cool with like society, is you'll see these little blooms right throughout our lives, and oh, this happened, and so now we're acting this way. And then you see smaller subsections of society that are doing the same thing on their own levels. What is it? Just do you guys remember about 10 years ago, FLDS got disbanded, the Fundamental Latter-day Saints, where they were having polygamy and they were practicing it actively.
Oh, wow.
And I think that part of it, the problem was that kids were being abused and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they ended up rescinding that sect and saying like, no, you're not a part of this. What is it? God in the 70s apparently said, never mind, black people are cool. Like, that's kind of like, okay, you figured out how to make it work for you. And then there was just a short while ago, they had their first gay pride parade in Utah, like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So the thing about Mormonism that I see a lot more than the Christian church is a lot more change and a lot more trying to change, because even though it's so new and American and fresh, at the same time, it has the most opportunity to develop and become something good versus something like Christianity, which is being influenced by decisions 2,000 years ago.
It's also so like just commercialized. You know what I mean? Like
what,
and
religion
like I said,
in general?
well, I mean Mormonism in general.
Mormonism.
You know what I mean? Like, because like I said, you've got Book of Mormon, but then you also have shows on TLC. Like you have what is it, Sister Wives? And even though like we just talked about like the fundamental Church of Latter-day Saints, like they denounce polygamy now, you know what I mean? But people see this TV show and they're like, oh, that's Mormonism. This dude that like is married and has these 4 wives and all these kids, like that's Mormonism, even though that change has since happened. It's like,
you know, it's weird.
That
happens in everything. That happens in fucking like comedy too, where it's like, oh yeah, we developed and changed, so like now we're gonna write a joke about these changes we've made and how we don't talk that way anymore, and everybody goes, you hate a certain group of people, and it's like
Dave Chappelle.
It's really weird
like Dave Chappelle.
that people like, you know, it's not only that we progress, but people also want to like take progress as a reason to hate other people. It's cool. Like we get to hate more people the more progressive we get. Don't you guys realize that? If we just accept blacks, we can hate everybody more. I shouldn't have said blacks. I should have said,
This is going in a dark direction.
Insert group of people.
Insert group of people. What? I am, just so everybody's aware, I wasn't looking at Elijah's square. Hey, what I want to know from everybody, what is the best musical in your opinion?
Mine changes.
We're not going to talk about that then.
I
So,
don't know too many.
what's going on with
Beetlejuice?
anime?
I thought yours was Rocky Horror.
Rocky,
That's always a good
I love Rocky Horror, but it is not my favorite musical. My favorite musical changes from like time to time. Like for a long time, it was Come From Away, but I'd say right now it's probably been pretty consistently Beetlejuice.
Ooh.
I don't like Beetlejuice.
Is it because you don't like Lydia?
No, I think it's a bad show.
We've
with
already
bad
said
music.
Beetlejuice twice. Don't say it again.
Beetlejuice. We said it
We
like
said it 4
7 times.
times.
Yeah.
This is what's wrong with
That undoes it.
He
But
just
you
went
said
like,
it the 5th time.
"Ah."
That would redo it.
for no
so.
reason. They always be testing everything, and that's why they always get like ghosts always end up in their homes. That's the reason why.
I want to
You
know why
you
everything
and
has to be
Diana
fucking
make
musical.
one whole white person, and that means one whole white person said that name 3 times, and that's you
I'll
could've
take
hurt
it.
us all. And I'm the black dude. I gotta die first. I don't like this at all. So don't do it.
Does the
Stop.
black guy die first in that movie?
Most movies, most
Beetlejuice?
There's no black guy in Beetlejuice.
yes.
Ah!
Maine or Vermont. There's no black people there.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
There's Miss Argentina who's green, but that's about as people of color as
Who's
you
green?
get.
Everybody's noticed that, right? There's no black people in like 90% of Tim Burton movies.
Listen, there's no.
He doesn't.
yeah, there's
He
no-
doesn't like black people. He's like racist.
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
know
that.
about
I
that.
think he's stupid.
Or
I think he's
Well, he
really
writes-
stupid.
Well, he stated like, I'm not gonna write roles for people of color if I like don't want them to be in the movie. Or he said something along those lines.
Stephanie Meyer said that, I think.
I don't think
I don't
he's
know,
coming
man.
from a racist standpoint.
Tim
though,
Burton
if
said
he did say
something
it.
kind of like that.
I think he's coming from a being stupid and old standpoint. I think it's literally
Yeah,
him
maybe.
thinking
I guess he
like,
is like.
it's
60
just the
something.
way that it is, and it's like, dude, shut up
But The
already.
Corpse Bride is a work of art. I love that movie.
No black people.
I haven't
Okay, but
seen
that
that
was
movie
set
since
in
like
like
it
something.
came out.
Okay, well, hold on now. To be fair, yeah, there should have been a black person in that in the Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
We have been in England for a long time, and probably during that time too.
Could you
Well, yeah, I don't remember a single black person in any Tim Burton movies.
I'm
It was
Googling it.
always all white.
I'm Googling it.
You're
Like, try not to make jokes right now.
the more especially after.
Oh, wait. Ben, I found what you were talking about, where it says Tim Burton explains why his movies are full of white people.
Yeah. What does it
What does
say?
he say?
Let's see. Hold on. It says blah, 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 blah. Because this is talking about Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. And Samuel L.
Okay.
Jackson was the first black actor to play a leading role in a Tim Burton movie.
Which is like one of his newest movies, right?
Yeah, that only came out. Let's see. This article is from 2016.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, he told...
Tim Burton says, "I'm not racist, but."
Let's see. It says the famed director acknowledged that diversity has
Got one.
become a popular
He got
discussion
one black guy. He got one. He cast one black guy. He got one. He got one black guy. Break it down now. Yo, my name is Tim Burton. I got one black guy, and I cast a movie, and I didn't say why. I just said, hey, you got a quota to fill? I got one black guy. His name's Sam Jackson Will. His last name's not Will, but he's got the filler. He is the best one. He can do the thriller. He knows the way to make a movie best because he's a black guy, and he's got the rest of my quota.
So what did that article say?
Anyways, he says he told editor Rachel Simon that things either call for things or they don't. I remember back when I was a child watching the Brady Bunch, and they started to get all politically correct. Like, okay, let's have
he's
an Asian
racist.
child in black.
Yeah, I
Used
told
to
you.
get more offended by that than just. I grew up watching. I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Blaxploitation movies.
You can't watch his fucking movies anymore?
And I said, that's great. I didn't go like, okay, there should be more white people in these movies. His defense,
He's
wait.
racist.
Joe, Willy Wonka. There was a black guy in Willy Wonka. He was a Candyman. He's not racist. I can
So
still watch.
what? We've counted 2 out of all of the movies that Tim Burton has made.
Quota.
What an
Okay,
achievement.
he got an A++.
So
So
Ben's right. Tim Burton totally just tried to say reverse racism
Yeah.
was a thing.
oh no, it's
Yeah.
not.
Where he's like, oh, I watch those, and I'm not like there should be
I
more.
watch these things. I'm not saying there should be more white people in these shows with black
He's
people.
like, I've
Why
seen
should there be
Django
more
Unchained.
black people
Why
in
should
these
I
white
have to write them
movies?
into my show? Huh? See?
Yeah, that logic is super outdated.
And then there's memes, and it says, if you say Tim Burton 3 times, a goth white dude appears and mansplains how white people isn't racist. There's also, hoo boy, they're discussing diversity with Tim Burton, who's never even cast a white person with a tan. And then there's, wait, is Tim Burton trying to say that his films are white-sploitation films?
He gives people white face.
You guys ever seen that sketch where it's supposed to be Tim Burton pitching a movie, and they're like, all right, Tim, tell us, what do you want us to do? And he's like, all right, now I need to assemble my whole creative team. All right, Diane, you're doing art. What are you doing? I've got some black costumes. All right, that's good. All right, the set and design, what are you doing? None of the angles are straight. All right, good. And you, Danny Elfman, write me a song, quick. Bum, 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 bum. Perfect. All right. Wait, I need another song, Danny. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, good. That's good. Work on it later. That's the whole thing. It's like,
Get me Johnny
look,
Depp, get me Helena Bonham Carter.
it's
Do it.
crazy, right?
Right.
Like, everybody's freaking out about this stuff.
Bring me my ex-wife.
If everybody just calls Tim Burton
More white powder.
racist
Powder.
and
More powder on the face.
lets him disappear into obscurity, like, he will not make the same movie again. That's what that means. So I'm not actually that upset now that I think about it. And I can still watch Nightmare Before Christmas, and it isn't racist.
It wasn't directed by him. It was only It was directed by him. It
was
wasn't
written by him. It was not directed by him.
One or the other.
No, it was written by him, not directed by him, and he didn't write the script.
Get his name on the movie.
He's a
'Cause he's a
producer.
motherfucker.
He adapted the screenplay or something. I don't think he wrote the screenplay.
Into the Woods, right? How Johnny Depp was in it for probably the least amount of that movie, and yet he's on the title.
And he was on the And he also sucked in that movie. Well, the whole movie sucked.
I mean, that whole movie sucked.
If you
That
got
was
the
a
balls to
shitty
suck,
movie.
dangle them out there, right? All right. So
But he was
let's take
the
a break.
worst part of that movie. Which is saying
Let's
something.
take a break. No, he wasn't. Yeah, let's take a break. Go poop, go pee, get your drinks,
How the
come
fuck
back
did
to
we
me.
get on the topic of Tim Burton.
Hard work and a
remember.
perfect execution. Artichoke. Nope. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. PlayStation. I don't know. I don't have anything. Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay. I talked about black people too much in the first portion. We talked about black people way too often. Simply saying the phrase black people is kind of an insult right now. Ooh, okay. All right. Moving on.
You good?
I'm just thinking about it. Every time I say the phrase now, I'm like, shouldn't have said that.
What
So,
phrase? Black people?
black people. Well, just I don't know. I've been talking about race a lot on the show, and it's I don't know. I don't know. It's it's weird, right? Because it's that's the thing that's happening right now. But
It's relevant.
yeah, but I don't want to it's not worth.
You don't want to get super touchy subject.
And even me,
yeah.
just bringing it back up. Now I'm just thinking about it. Now I'm like,
Let me change the topic, guys. What I know best. So,
You got a good transition.
Disneyland is reopening July 11th. Or
Ooh.
Disney World.
Wow.
And people are losing their shit, and here's why.
Because Six Flags.
Coronavirus infection.
I was like, let me bring some wholesome nonsense. So like part of like the parks opening again, you have to wear masks 24/7, and people are losing their shit. Absolutely, just like losing their fucking minds over the fact that they have to wear masks in the park, and if they're not, they get like escorted out of the parks, and people are losing their minds on these comments. And so Disney just released another update, and they said that everyone that had bought park tickets before and annual pass holders are going to have first dibs to reservations when the park reopens, because they're only opening at 30% capacity. And everybody is pissed that they're not going to be able to get reservations if they hadn't had tickets before. And then in addition to that, they said that they're not going to have fast passes for the rides. And
I bet they're really losing the shit about that.
Elijah, do I talk about black people too much?
I just fucking started talking about Disneyland, dude.
And then you just brought it up again.
I mean, now, right? Probably now, but like, did I bring it up too much?
Hey guys, have you met my dog?
I'm trying to cut back.
It's hard to go cold turkey on black people, I'm telling you.
Like,
Are you telling him he's got to, or it's hard to?
But it keeps saying to.
It's hard to.
I'm not actually crying. I just put a bunch of eye drops in my eyes. I'm not fucking crying, you guys.
Like you were sorry
I'm
for your
talking about
actions.
black people. I wasn't doing it.
Listen, after people lost black people as slaves, they had to work hard. Because that's like going that was going cold turkey on black people. That's why they had to make Jim Crow laws.
Yeah. That's Jim Crow.
As a half white person, I'm not gonna comment on any of this shit.
Yeah, I was about to say no comments.
As
a full white person, I'm definitely not going to comment.
I hope you guys know it's all in
I'm
good
gonna see
fun
myself
right
out.
now. We're all in good fun here. Don't worry.
So, well, okay. So I brought it up last week, and Jamie, you remember, right?
You're gonna continue talking about how you're not sure whether or not you want to continue talking about
it's
this.
not that. It's not that. It's not that. Look, I shouldn't bring it up again. So, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I was watching Atlanta, which, like, I'm already being progressive right there, right? So I'm covered. And I was quoting the show, and I quoted a line I shouldn't have quoted, and I'm still sorry to this day for quoting that line. And nobody was around to hear me. I was by myself. So, yeah. So I'm like,
I remember.
I've never seen the show. So
I don't know. Like, and Diana said something too. She was like, I'm not okay with any white people saying that word. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. That's why I have a problem with me saying it. And like, I just like.
Was this when we were in Trail that I said something like that?
No. It was just like, I was watching the show and I was enthusiastically like recounting some of the lines, and it's a funny show, and like it was just wrong. It was the wrong character, wrong lines, wrong everything. I don't even know where I'm going with this right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just
Disneyland is opening. Huh?
No. Disneyland's not going to reopen. People will die and then they'll close again.
Disneyland is.
Someone's going to die. Okay.
People are going to die.
It's a world, so it's bigger.
It is natural selection.
Mm-hmm.
Why does everybody have a problem?
Are you going the first
Florian explanation?
days opening?
No, I'm not.
You're waiting until the second week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Can I go, Ben? Is this your show now? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the Ben and Cheech show.
So
Where
you have the
my guest
looper, and
Cheech.
you do live looping raps. Wow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, young Jim Carrey. No one is trying to.
See? That's like the third fucking time.
I know, I did it on purpose. I had like 4 people that came to see me in Trail that came up to me and then told me after the show, and then I was like, I'm not gonna tell Taylor because Taylor's just gonna lose.
I'm gonna be like, oh no.
He's gonna be like, I'm like a young Jim Carrey.
Elijah, what are you looking at?
porn.
Oh,
How would you know, Diana? You've never seen it.
graduated.
That's true.
What it looks like.
But Elijah
like pictures
does
of
have a story
SpongeBob.
about how I sent him a Snapchat of
The
how
porn.
flexible I am, and he opened it in front of his manager.
I was on my break, and Diana, what you sent me was a little inappropriate. I was
on.
like, oh.
What was the content? Let's go over. Like,
No, okay, so basically what it was I was laying on the couch, and my little brother and I had our—
good start, Elijah. It's a very good start.
He was on the other side of the couch, and my little brother and I were putting our feet together to see whose feet were bigger. And he pushed on my legs, and I just folded in half, and he was horrified. And so I started taking a video of just his reaction, and he's just screaming, and he's just like, oh my God, you shouldn't be able to do that. Are you okay? Are you okay? And then he's like, let me show you what you look like. And so he takes the phone and he flips it to look at me. And I go, I can go further. And then I grab my legs and put them behind my head.
Where does one learn this?
Damn.
You just hear my brother go,
How old is your brother?
He's like 9, right?
oh.
How old is your brother?
No, my little brother's 14.
Oh, he looked 9. I'm sorry.
Where else do you apply these skills other than a Navy SEAL mission or musical theater?
Musical theater.
I don't know.
No, where
Oh, just
else?
the two.
Not musical theater or a Navy SEAL. Where
I'm a
else?
virgin, Taylor.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm
Wow.
talking about. I'm talking about work. I'm talking about how do you make
Is
money
that
with
lightning
that
about
kind of a
to strike
skill.
on your butt?
I
You
could.
invested that time.
Yoga.
I could make
Not
it
talking
fair.
about that. I'm not talking about yoga. I'm talking about like a job that contributes to the global economic status.
I could
You're
do
stripping.
That
I'll do an
No!
OnlyFans. Elijah will be the first subscriber.
I'm saying if there was a construction job that required you to split yourself in half, that's what I'm talking
Hey.
about. Is there anything like
I'll
that?
be the
You
best
can't
Santa or
contribute
OnlyFans.
to
I don't give a
infrastructure. You can't contribute to like, and
I
that's
am an essential
you
worker.
could say the same thing about doing podcasts and
Same.
musicals. So
I know, poor Elijah and I always sending Snapchats of each other of us at work. We're just like,
I just
Oh
want
my
to
God.
say,
Something
Elijah is the
worse than that was
hardest
like-
working person I know.
Who?
you.
Me? No.
Yeah.
No.
You show up.
Lazy.
No, if
You
you
show
saw
up-
how much this dude Snapchats me at work.
Well, no, I'm not talking about like hard working, like actually working, but I'm talking about hard working, like making that paper. He shows up and he's like, I've been up since 4 a.m. and then blah, 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 and then I came here. And it's like, oh,
That's because I'm an insomniac, and that's the only issue.
I
yeah.
think my favorite thing about Elijah was like when we were doing our show together, he would just show up and every day he'd have a new story for me. And it just
Yeah.
like made my whole life. He's like, so
Aw.
today at the Dollar
He's a
Tree.
witty conversationalist.
He really is.
Do you want to hear my story from today at Dollar Tree?
Oh, is it? I already
Yes.
quit.
It was actually I almost yelled at this lady. So when you have luscious locks like this, I mean it's like lamb's wool, people. Jesus.
Oh, hold on. I was told not to say that.
It was okay. So it's fluffy.
That was supposed to be
Wait for him
funny.
to say it. You can't say it, Taylor.
It is luscious.
Wait,
like-
no. You guys know I have a black uncle, right? This is not to justify things, but I'm just making sure everybody knows, right? Everybody
Yes,
knows that.
He does have an uncle that is black.
Yes.
He used to let me touch his hair all the time. So that's how I learned. Go ahead, Elijah. Tell me your story.
I was working today, and I was cleaning up something, and someone had knocked over something, and all I feel is something touch my hair, and I turn around, and I wish I would have said it a little bit differently, but I was like, "Don't touch me," to whoever was behind me, only to see like a 60-year-old white lady.
A 60-year-old or a 6-year-old?
60-year-old.
Did that make it okay?
No. I felt bad.
Okay, I'm just
because I
checking.
know she didn't mean it to be like rude, but people should know you
She
just
could
don't
be racist, though.
touch people.
Yeah.
Don't
You just don't touch people in general. Keep your hands in
Yeah,
feet.
don't touch anyone.
It's weird. I never have anybody going up to me and being like touching my hair and going like, oh, it's like a unicorn's mane.
Listen, man, it's not good as this. I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely right, and that's what I'm saying. That's what's interesting. Like that's why I don't touch people's hair anymore, because it's like nobody's touching
really
my fucking hair.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
No, it's like, especially for like girls, people will just come up to me all the time. Like if usually when I like take a shower and my hair is all floofy, people will be like, oh, your hair's so soft. And I'll be like,
Oh my gosh, people would do that all the time.
Yeah.
They would ask to braid my hair, but I wouldn't mind that.
People do
You
that
got
to
like
me.
crazy
They'll be like, can I
hair
braid
though,
your
Jamie.
hair?
Let's be honest
The only
right now.
person who can do it is my mama. And that's because she birthed me. She can do whatever she wants. She brought me into this world. She can take me out.
Yeah. Parents are
Like,
another
should
exception.
not be charged.
I
for
think that's
murder.
where a lot of old people get it from, right? They must be like, oh, it's like a little man, but you're like, ma'am, I'm 20 something.
26-year-old man, and I don't know. It's like this weird thing. I don't like that people think they can just reach out and touch people.
Mm-hmm.
No, the answer is no. You can't just reach out and touch people. It makes me feel like a pet.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel like property, and now hell no if I'll be property.
Like when somebody asks if they've brought black people up too many times, right?
Oh, shut up, Taylor.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Just want to see where I stand. I just want to figure out.
You're going to be not standing if you keep going. Move on.
I'm 2 drinks deep. You can't stop this train now.
I thought that was water.
No.
No, it's gin.
What is it? Just straight
Vodka
gin?
and no, it's not straight gin. It's vodka and seltzer stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta stay fit.
I'm having
I
I'm only
suck.
having
I suck. I'm a bad
10%
host.
Moscato. So.
I should
Okay.
go
You're doing
get
just fine.
my rosé.
No,
I should've
no, I'm
gotten
not.
it.
Not doing it.
Lame.
Do it.
I'm out of drinks now.
Here, I'll give you some through the hole.
Oh, ha, 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 ha.
Here you go.
What?
I don't
What's
like to
the-
drink very often.
What's the deal with anime, you guys? What's going on there?
What about anime?
Yeah, what
What's-
about anime?
I feel like they
What
always
about
bring up like,
anime?
what's the deal with K-pop? And like, well, what about K-pop?
This time it's not a racial thing.
What's the deal?
It's
What's
What do you
Like,
mean?
about how like
the big idea?
Like,
Full
what
Metal
is
Alchemist
anime?
Brotherhood is, like,
why
one of
is
the best
so
anime.
much anime writing
Ooh,
and
Diana.
acting
Good choice.
I thought you were gonna insult me, and I was gonna be
No.
like, "Listen, Elijah, I will go for you right now." No, that's legit one of my favorites. Except
Anytime.
the last episode, I need to like rewatch because the first time I watched it was such like an unpleasant experience.
What show
What
is
show?
this?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I heard that's one.
I've
of
never
the best
seen that
shows.
one.
It
Oh,
is.
it's great.
good.
Oh, it's
Fantastic.
amazing. It's
Um,
amazing.
I've only seen like 3 animes ever in my life.
Just
I'm not counting Last Airbender. That's obviously doesn't count.
Okay.
wait, you're not counting like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not
but
counting those.
do
I'm not
not
counting
count.
those.
When a line of
Oh,
dialogue.
if you count those, I've seen like 7. So
I'm not counting.
Yu Yu Hakusho,
Ooh, that's a classic.
Kami-sama. How did you miss? I can't say that.
I've seen Full Metal. I've seen Death Note. I've seen Attack on
I
Titan.
love Death Note.
okay, I've seen Attack on Titan.
I've seen Sword Art Online.
Haven't seen it.
Sword Art on Waifu? Hell yeah.
Avatar.
Was that a game first, or was that
What? Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online? Yeah.
They're
Taylor's
trapped in a
trying
game.
so hard to say something.
The vodka's kicking in.
Sorry.
It's
Oh.
I'm riding the wave right now. Woo!
Okay, guys, it's
I
our
was
podcast
just-
now.
Hold on,
I
I'm
was
muting
gonna
myself. My
say-
little brother's
I
here.
was gonna say,
Okay.
why is most anime dialogue and what?
What just
Like,
happened?
why is it cheesy? Because sometimes it can.
Well,
be.
hold on now. Now I have to know what the heck is
Did you
going
just get
on.
blessed
Like,
by
What's
God?
going on, Diana?
she's
Unmute and tell us what happened, Diana.
oh
You
no.
still red the face.
What happened?
What?
So my little brother came in and I was like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna mute myself because he's probably gonna ask. And he comes in, dead ass. Joey, do you want to come ask the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Joey, tell
Well,
us.
well,
Ask
well.
us
Ask us the question.
is Medusa's pubes also snakes?
Yes.
Oh my god.
No,
Probably.
no. Are we talking about? No, come back here, Joey.
Wait, Joey, hold
I like
on,
to bring him into the
Hold on a
podcast.
second.
He can be the sixth,
Joey, come back.
person.
Wait, ladies and gentlemen, Joey.
he's
Boom, boom,
excellent.
Joey, how old are you?
boom, 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 Joey Scott. This is Joey. Yeah.
Joey. Oh.
They're snakes. They're snakes.
Asking me about what pubes look like is weird.
No, it's not. I'm only twice your age. Aw, man. Aw.
Come here, little boy.
Okay, he
Let's
asked
discuss
a valid
pubes
question.
with you, young
Look, my anime question wasn't good. Let's focus on this task at hand. What do Medusa's pubes look like?
Are they also snakes?
Look, they are small,
Probably.
fine snakes, and when you run your fingers through them, they move. Or no,
They bite you?
no,
Whoa.
because she's got big old like thick snakes on her head, so she's got like 12, right?
Wow.
She's got a. But does she have butt hairs
someone-
too? Does she have
Okay,
snakes
no,
coming
no,
out her
I think
butt
Elijah
too?
has an educated answer. Elijah, go ahead.
Elijah,
Listen,
please.
her pubes are clearly made out of rattlesnakes ends. It's all rattlesnakes, all the rattle
just
part.
the ends though? Just
That's the rattle.
Well, because yeah, the hair isn't as
When you
long
get
as
turned
like
on, then do you just hear
pubic
like
hair isn't as long as like head
Yeah.
hair. Yeah.
See? Diana gets it right there.
I mean,
Elijah, that's because we vibe on the
Look.
same wavelength.
viably speaking, what are the evolutionary reasons that you need to have snakes on your head? Like something about what snakes eat is your main form of diet. So, what is the diet of a vagina? Like, rattles are not gonna go there. That's the rattles don't go on the vagina. The cloaca.
Like, no, but think about it. Think about this logically, right?
No, I'm not.
Everyone
The upper half of the snakes. So where's the bottom half?
Yes, but the bottom half of the snake
Of
is
the
not
snake.
attached to the cloaca / vagina. The cloaca is about a quarter of the way away from the tail. We need to look up where is a snake vagina at. Let's find out for ourselves, folks. We'll take it to the panel
Well,
here.
aren't there rattly ends and head ends
Is
on her
a
head?
snake.
No, it's just the heads.
Is just the heads? I thought there were. Isn't the rattly part on the end?
Snakes have
Have
a,
you guys ever seen a turtle
Oh.
have sex with a croc?
A turtle have sex with a what? With another turtle?
A croc.
Like a crocodile?
Listen,
yes,
my man.
yes, I have.
shot.
Yes.
I'm not mad.
Taylor, I think
What?
we've actually talked about this
Bestiality? What the
before.
fuck?
Okay, so I'm just getting a bunch of pictures of snakes on vaginas, not snakes vaginas. So I'm not going
Maybe
to show it.
that's not what we want.
But as
So let's
far
do
as
the
I
screen
can
share
understand,
so we can.
I was kind of right. It says the cloaca is at the base of the tail, meaning near where the rattler would be, I guess. But
So it would work.
So we're
yeah,
good.
but that's determining. I mean, they didn't have rattlesnakes in old Greece. They had other snakes, right? Is a
We are
rattlesnake?
talking about a mythical creature.
Yes, and a mythical creature that adheres to the religious beliefs of a specific regional group. So meaning that their snake would be different. They wouldn't have a
Fair
rattler,
enough.
right?
Fair enough. So she would just have
Little snake tails.
Little snake tails.
Yeah, like all over the place.
Snake tail.
That's gross.
Rattlesnake tails is sexier. So
Your
let's
brother's gross. What the
See,
fuck movies
Diana
is he
gets
watching?
this. Every time you get close, all you hear is, "Baby, what's
You're
up?"
like, eh.
You hear like
you
you
walk into the
hear,
room. You like walk into the room and all you hear is, and you're like,
not anymore. Not if it's not a rattlesnake.
no, that's why it has to be a rattlesnake.
Listen,
Just
listen.
let Elijah and I live in this fantasy.
You know what upsets me is that on
Fantasy
Animal
of
Planet is that when a snake is
vaginas.
moving and it's making that like dragging sound on an Animal Planet thing, and it's like it's not an
not
actual,
real.
it's not a real sound that snakes make. When you go in an anthill with a camera, you don't actually hear like it's just an anthill. It's just stands.
You know, if
You
you, want
know-
to watch animals have sex, there's like this whole episode. There's this whole
Subject of the night, I
episode
guess.
on Netflix.
Oh no,
and
this
it
is
was
uncomfortable.
It
No,
was so weird.
No.
No. There's this new
No.
like planet Earth type thing, and it was just. Is that what it's
We,
called?
we can't hear you well suddenly. Taylor.
Because my microphone's by my dick.
Oh.
Yeah, no, and it's like
By
the
your
first episode is all about
snakes.
dung beetles eating poop. And then, you just kind of go through and you're like learning interesting facts about animals. And then about like the 7th episode in, it's just animal porn the whole time.
Oh, good.
Did you know that penguins?
Sounds fun.
This is not what I
you
want to
know
watch. This
penguins
is
have
not what I
sex
want to see.
workers?
Huh?
Penguins have sex workers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, they
I
do.
posted
What do you
that
mean,
fact
like-
on my Facebook. I was like, what?
Pimping.
Yeah.
Penguins be pimping.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
One more reason to
How?
legalize
How do
it.
how do they orchestrate that?
So like basically
Funny. Shells.
the men pay in pebbles.
Mhm.
And they have to, and
Wait, seriously?
yeah,
Yes.
no.
What the
They
fuck?
pay in pebbles to make their nests. Yeah. And like the female penguin will keep refusing them until they bring either a good enough pebble or enough pebbles. And then finally she'll be like, okay. And then
Can I
like,
please see a video of Morgan Freeman like
Narrating.
doing that?
And
Yeah.
now. we
What
watch.
as the prostitute penguin?
The Pippin walk.
Take
The
the
penguin.
pebbles
Pippin.
from
The
the
time still on Pippin. The penguin walks up
These are the worst
and
Morgan
drops
Freeman accents.
a pebble.
I know. I was like,
The female pulls out a vagina and except
Pulls
does
out
not
her
pull
vagina.
out a
How
vagina.
do you pull it out?
as we all know, penguin vaginas are reversible and removable. As we can see here,
Easy cleaning.
Dishwasher
And
safe.
they have
Top rack
sex
only.
and copulate. They do doggy style, and then the male leaves on his way. His pebbles left behind. No, that's not
We
how.
do
That's
not
not.
condone penguin fucking here at the murder van.
No, only between
No.
penguins.
But only penguin abstinence? Oh, only
know-
between
Between
penguins. Okay,
penguins.
so,
To
so, no,
keep
so
the
no
population
penguin,
up.
so no human penguin you're talking.
No.
We do. I
No,
mean,
Ben.
You just said between penguins. Yeah,
Yes,
no,
it's
only
only
okay
between-
between penguins.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
we do condone penguin.
You're saying you
sex.
don't
Between penguins.
between
Yeah.
penguins. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like, why would wait?
No,
we
I
haven't
was agreeing with you
established
there,
any.
yeah.
Yeah, we haven't established any rules of the van yet. So, like, if we're gonna have rules, why? Okay, Elijah proposes to the floor that no penguins can have sex according to the murder van. Okay.
That is not what Elijah
That
said.
is not even
Penguin
That
on
is
penguin is
what did
okay.
What did you say? Having sex with a penguin or having?
Yes,
Yes.
we do not condone
Oh.
humans having sex with penguins.
Yes.
Man.
I mean, we didn't.
I don't
vote.
think we have
we
to.
didn't- We didn't
don't
vote.
know why we need to
We didn't
clarify that
vote. We
statement.
didn't vote, so we have to vote. Okay.
I
God.
think we should. I think the
Okay.
Because I brought up this topic with Elijah, I will abstain from voting.
Okay.
Diana of District 12.
Hmm.
All in favor of having sex with humans having sex with penguins, say aye. All opposed, nay.
Nay.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So the nays win it. There we go.
Wait,
now,
I didn't hear Ben say an answer.
I said nay.
I'm just
God damn
saying.
it.
I'm just saying from the get go. Like, look, I'm all well in for you guys all having your own beliefs, but don't put that on the van. We have to decide as a group.
Understood.
What?
We
Is
don't
that the only
condone
rule for the
humans
van?
having sex with
Yeah.
So
penguins.
far?
What if somebody in here wanted to have sex with a penguin, Elijah? You would have felt like a real fucking idiot.
No, I
So,
wouldn't.
you know,
No, I wouldn't. You know
Um,
why? Because that person would not have said a word. Why? Because they know it's wrong and they wouldn't admit it to it.
but their feelings would have been hurt, and you
And they
would
can
have.
stay hurt. They can die mad about it.
You know what?
We would
Look,
never know.
what if it's a consensual? What if the
There
penguin?
is no.
There's no consent
What
in
if-
an animal.
What if a
Listen.
penguin gains sentience and
2,000
begins
years.
talking, and he says, "Wah, I want to lay with the
He
human."
says
and the
wah?
human- Yes,
It's not
And
Waluigi.
the human says, "All I know from penguins, I know from Batman Forever."
From
He's
the
not a real penguin.
Whatever. The Batman one with the penguin.
He's not Waluigi.
So
Want to grab my
You can
Waluigi.
replace every in the song Hallelujah. You can replace every Hallelujah.
Have you
with
seen that
Waluigi.
video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor, sing it for us.
I almost put
What
that in the
song?
pre-show
What?
for the last
Hallelujah, but
sketch show.
instead of saying Hallelujah, sing Waluigi.
Waluigi, right? Waluigi. Okay. No,
It's a
wait.
great YouTube video.
Isn't that just
It
the
goes on for
Shrek
too
theme,
long.
or is that the song?
It's in Shrek.
The,
Yeah,
the regular song is in Shrek, the Shrek theme.
but
It actually
What
does
is
sound
the
a lot
song
like
again?
the main Shrek.
I'm all. What is the song again?
It's a broken hallelujah. That song?
yeah.
Hallelujah. Da 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 da. Okay, I just fucking got that.
It sounds a lot like the Shrek theme. Yeah. The da da da.
Oh,
da, da,
I didn't
da.
know it. They should get sued for that.
No, they
got the
bought
rights to the real song.
from Ralph
Yeah.
Stewart. He sings
But yeah,
it.
it's actually really interesting that the Shrek theme is like slightly different from the song Hallelujah. You know,
Yeah.
the main
Yeah.
theme in all the movies.
All-Star
What are we
by
talking about at
Smash
this point?
Mouth?
What? No. Watch Shrek again. Watch it's the theme that plays throughout the movie. At the very beginning of the movie, before All-Star, that's like the music playing. Like it's like the fairy tale music that plays. It sounds like Hallelujah.
Well, because they actually have Hallelujah in the original.
You
Shrek.
almost said Waluigi.
Almost said Waluigi.
They actually have Waluigi in the movie. You didn't see him?
I wrote a note down that it's confusing me, and maybe you guys know what I meant.
What?
How about instead of Thanksgiving turkey, eat this turkey? That's what I wrote.
Is that related to vaginas?
I don't know.
Related to Shrek.
I don't know where it comes from. I was
I don't know
hoping
either.
someone here would
My
know.
first experience in the murder van, so I would be no help.
The murder
Yeah, I don't
van
know, man.
is a construct. I don't know. Okay, so anime.
The construct
The
that
construct.
doesn't condone human penguin bestiality.
Why in anime
For the record.
are there lines?
Let the record stand that we do not condone.
Well, no, we didn't say bestiality. We said penguin fucking.
I
Bestiality.
said human penguin.
We only addressed one animal
Look,
out of all of
I'm
the animal
not-
kingdom.
calling anybody out or anything, but it's just like you have to vote. You have to vote where these things don't go through.
Then
So-
do we come to a vote that we at the murder van do not condone
We already
bestiality?
did a vote. Voting's already passed. We got other things to cover
We have
today.
to go back to anime and
I
let's
think
talk
Taylor's
about
trying to
Metal
avoid-
Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh,
We were talking about animes in general.
why
Yeah.
are animes cheesy? And I'm just like, when you
It
have
depends
a,
on the anime.
it does, because I have animes I really like. Like I love animes, and the thing that's hard, that makes me sad, is I can't watch animes when people are in the room because it embarrasses me.
Listen,
Because
a
of
lot of
dialogue.
anime
The
has
wrong group of
there's
people
something
while
called
you're
fan
It's
watching.
not
service.
that.
You
It's
need to
not
watch
that.
with other people who like anime.
Well, maybe that is it, because like my parents are like,
I don't watch anime with people. I watch anime by myself.
yeah, my parents
Anime-
walked
It
in.
depends on the
I was
anime.
watching anime, and it was always embarrassing, and I would always change it. And like, I remember trying to watch an anime with my dad, and him just being like, he did something, and I was like, eh. But I've always wondered, like, okay, why is a line of dialogue in a fucking script? Why? We did a sketch about this before, where it's like everybody's
We've done
going
multiple.
like, show me your power. And I am like,
What was that?
what was that?
Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Elijah. You just ruined my podcast. I'm gonna end it now.
Listen, this was
Last recording ever.
But yeah.
See, we're
But
running
yeah,
out of time. We're still last recording. No,
Okay,
I
so
want to
that
know
works.
for real.
Yeah,
real.
yeah, they would do the power up.
And not just
like
that.
they have to take a big shit or something. Yeah.
There was.
We literally had a sketch about
Yeah.
that.
We did,
and,
yeah.
like-
You were in it.
Yes,
You
I
were in the
was.
sketch.
I don't. Okay, so
Both
it's
of
the
us were.
same thing as the jerking off thing. If somebody walks in the room while I'm jerking off, I'm gonna stop. But if like I'm watching anime, I will have the same reaction if somebody walks in the room.
That
And-
means you have a deep level of shame about anime,
I
and that sounds
do.
like a personal problem.
I do. But the thing about it too is that I feel like it convinces a lot of people that because the story is cool and is a good idea, that the writing must be good. And my worry about society is that our writing is going to get worse the more people get invested in projects like this. And I'm not saying all anime is bad, obviously.
But that's dubs, though. You know what I mean? Like what you're talking about is watching a dub And
No, I don't think so. I think it's also with the foreign language version.
I feel like subs in Japan, they
both
still
of
do
them.
that.
They still do.
I will admit, and Elijah's gonna kill me when I say this. I did prefer the dub over the sub for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I'm gonna okay. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is one of the few anime that I will not judge someone that they prefer the dub over because the dub was phenomenal.
The dub was amazing. The dub was like their actors were like fantastic.
Well, so like
I just like
Cowboy Bebop is good, right? I like Cowboy Bebop a lot, and I like Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist is good shit. Cowboy Bebop is better.
I've heard it's great.
It's really good acting.
Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah,
because there's Full Metal Alchemist and then there's Brotherhood.
Let me put it to you this way.
Is Brotherhood just like a sequel or what?
No.
It's
It's a
a
retcon.
It's a reimagining. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not a reimagining. It's the original story from the original manga. The original.
So it's more accurate.
Did not follow that at all.
Oh.
So
completely off the rails.
Here's my thing. All I'm saying, right, is Full Metal Alchemist is the shit, but trying to adapt that concept into a full-fledged story, it does. The acting in Full Metal Alchemist is what I'll say is actually what saves it. The story of Full Metal Alchemist is a little ridiculous, and a lot of animes suffer from that, where it's like,
why is it ridiculous?
To me, it's a little ridiculous. The idea of like the 4 elements and we do the powers. It sounds a lot like Power Rangers.
It's alchemy. Alchemy's a real thing.
Nothing fucking wrong with that. But I think here's my thing. I think the same thing about the Avengers series.
Hold on.
You just mean the MCU.
Of Full Metal Alchemist is they talk about what they have the ability to do versus what they cannot do, the limitations. It's all based in science. So why is it so bothersome to you?
Because Cowboy Bebop does a better job than most of them, and it's really upsetting.
Well, Cowboy Bebop is special.
Well, Breaking Bad does a better job than most TV shows, but a lot of TV shows manage to keep up with realistic dialogue. And what I'm saying is when
sometimes we don't need that realism.
But for me, I personally think that you got to go the opposite route. You can't go, well, this thing kind of suffered, but I did really well on this. You got to try.
What is Cowboy Bebop about?
Cowboy Bebop is about a dude who lives on Mars and he travels through space on their spaceship called Cowboy Bebop, and they hunt bounties.
And you're saying that's realistic?
I'm not at all. What I'm saying is the way they present it is a lot better. It has good dialogue, and it has very good acting attached to that dialogue, and I think that is what sells it.
What episode have you not seen of Full Metal Alchemist?
Look, I'm not judging specifically Full Metal Alchemist.
Real man tears.
I'm not judging specifically Full Metal Alchemist. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I've watched a couple episodes.
Those different than
if you haven't seen the entirety of Full Metal Alchemist, especially Brotherhood, then you are going to be missing out.
What I'm saying is doesn't probably like apply necessarily. Maybe Full Metal Alchemist pulls it up later. I enjoyed Full Metal Alchemist, so what I'm saying to me doesn't apply to it. Because it's fulfilling.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Wait.
So I'm talking about anime in general.
Have any of you guys seen Castlevania?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's. I guess it's technically not an anime because it's not made in Japan, but it's pretty.
Oh, come on! Anime is just animation that they did to look like the Japanese animation. Anime is Japanese animation. It's anime.
Then I would say it's anime. Then
it's anime. They got pointy chins. They got the. No, I almost said squinty. They don't have squinty eyes. No, because some of them are like
over-exaggerated facial features.
Well, no, that's not okay. Now you get upset, Elijah. That's on you.
Not upset.
I'm just saying.
This part of the show.
I'll make you worried with a rap if you really dare me to.
I was worried earlier. Trust me.
All I'm saying is, I just don't think that you should. Then this is, I guess what I mean is a lot of people telling me like, well, when you look past that part, the show's good. I can't. I like Cowboy Bebop because it's got good camera work, good animation, good writing, good voice acting. All of it is good. And
there's no camera. It's animated.
And a lot of the shows I feel like are trying to hit all of the notes, not just one or two. If you're a comedy, you have elements of drama, and if you're a drama, you have elements of comedy. You don't go, I'm only comedy or I'm only drama. And I feel like a lot of anime shoehorns itself into that corner of like, I'm only a show about lizard people who fight from the future. I'm only about these people traveling through the future, blah, blah.
So like Death Note, I would say that like Death Note is one of the ones that focuses only on like, I am dramatic and this is drama.
Yeah.
Because like Death Note is like pretty good until season 2, really.
But
I thought it was only like 1 or 2 seasons.
Have you seen Gurren Lagann? Or I'm probably butchering how to say that.
Let me see.
Gurren Lagann?
No.
There's too many TV shows that they're good until this point. Like
no,
I don't want to watch shows.
I would say that one's good from start to finish. Never.
No, I just mean TV shows in general.
And it's not to say that Cowboy Bebop's like the only anime I've ever been invested in. I've been invested in a lot of anime.
Feels like it.
No, it's not. It's just the only one I'm thinking of right now.
Because you were seriously.
And it's not even just anime. I've noticed it is a lot of like Eastern films and writing and stuff, animation just in general. You kind of seen it on other
on Netflix?
Yeah,
yes,
Parasite is on Netflix.
I have wanted to watch
It's been on Hulu
for
like
no,
3 years.
Look, the good
Watch it.
Parasite.
It's really fucking good.
The good Parasite is on Hulu. The shitty Parasite is on Netflix.
Well, I have
wait, what?
Too, so.
What do you mean?
Parasite, the movie that just came out.
This is exactly why I brought this up.
Wait, there's a different version of the movie?
No. It's not. They're just called
There's
the same.
There's 2 stories. One is a Korean film. One is a Japanese anime that is terrible. The Korean film is amazing, and the dialogue in it is specifically crafted a specific way.
It's very good.
They speak it so well in their language that it just translates so well for me. I thought all of the delivery in it was so good, and it didn't have to be
Parasite
English.
was fantastic.
Parasite, the animated series with a Y, is fucking stupid. I got
okay, I'm just not looking it up. It's
look,
that one.
Taylor,
you guys probably love it.
Taylor,
You
I have a
probably
question.
love it.
Taylor, I have a question. When was the last time you just loved something?
Well, we could talk about cynicism later. But
I'm just saying, come on, man, for real. I feel you. I was an English major in college. I spent all my time in academia, and I see this a lot. Is people get so wrapped up in the academia, what's the top of the top, that they can't just sit down and read a children's book and say that shit was kind of cool.
I really
Learn
can't.
to enjoy the little things, man.
That's
It's
my
like
thing
this.
about English too, like in
Yeah.
that major.
I think it comes from trying to do the stuff, from trying to like
I guess
make my own
Well,
little
and
things
I
and
think
stuff.
it
I
depends
went
on how
for
your brain
writer.
works. Because like I know that I've talked to people that look at things from a very logical like point of view, and they'll read something and be like, grammatically this sucked, so it wasn't good. Even if they can admit that like the story was like decent, but I can appreciate something as like a whole. So like I can like books that other people don't like because I can appreciate the story as a whole. But then I can
You
look
let
back
that
and
shit
be
go,
like,
man.
"Grammar sucks."
Grammar doesn't mean everything to me.
Or like
I
their
mean,
lyrics sucks.
It does if it's my work, but I can sit there and read it and be like, yeah, this is actually really great, and I can accept it for that fact. But you seem to be nitpicky on this idea of anime in general as being too out there.
I kind of see both sides.
Look,
I see both
everybody,
sides.
you're right, but you're wrong. Give me 2 seconds. I need more alcohol. Give me a second. I'll be back in a bit.
Yes, I applied to be a
Okay, let's
PlayStation
talk about how
representative
Taylor was
soon.
wrong. This whole
I did.
What?
Yeah, let's talk about why Taylor is extremely wrong here.
Guys, let me screen share and we'll watch an episode of Brotherhood while we wait for Taylor to come back.
While we wait for him to get his stuff.
Diana, how do you like Attack on Titan in general?
Listen, the first episode fucked me up really bad.
Oh yeah, it had a great
So good.
pilot.
I think, and like I'm gonna be totally honest with like my little brother loves Attack on Titan, but for me it was like that pilot was kind of its peak.
I agree.
And I
totally
think,
agree.
I think I think I can appreciate it as a whole, but I think honestly it lost me due to the fact that it kind of took like 3 years for them to come out with the next season. And by the time
Took
that
way
that
too long,
happened,
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna have to rewatch the first season to understand the second season, and that's too much time.
Yeah, same here. I watched season 2 without rewatching season 1, and then like the twist thing, which I'm not gonna spoil it. The twist thing that happened like 2/3 through season 2. I did not even remember those characters, and I was like,
Yeah.
who is that guy? Who's that guy? Oh,
Elijah,
okay.
do you have a differing opinion?
Oh, I read. I don't. I watched it, but I didn't. I preferred the original manga versus
Well,
the
and
anime.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Like, I mean, I enjoy a lot of like for example, like it. I enjoyed the book way more than I enjoyed the
That's
movie.
a nice copy of it.
That movie sucked.
especially the orgy part, right? The
That is the only part.
No.
Okay, here's
We
my
don't
thing
like
about
this.
that.
So
I just
weird.
like
No.
mentioning that because it's the worst.
No. This is my
It is the
favorite part,
worst.
though, is that if you talk to Stephen King and you ask him what's the worst thing he's ever written in his books, he will tell you it's the murder and mayhem that he put in Pet Sematary. And sometimes I think he forgets that he put a giant gangbang scene between
Like
minors.
a 10-page
in this
long
book.
thing.
It was
But I'm
definitely
like-
a
And it just goes on
it was
and on.
not a gangbang. It
And I'm
was
like-
not a it was a train. There's a difference.
But I'm like,
Well, it was a 6-on-1 sexual experience.
No. It's not a gangbang. It's a train. It's different. Each
Yeah.
one came and left the room.
in prospects of the original.
Well, they couldn't see. They didn't leave the room.
I'm pretty sure.
They were in a sewer.
No, dude, they're
Was
in
it
a
in the sewer?
sewer. They're like on the other side of the room.
Either
I'm
way,
not-
I think that's
it's
almost
not
worse.
the same time. Gangbang is
No.
not the same.
They didn't fill all her orifices.
I think the
I shouldn't
original
have brought
movie
it
is
up.
the best
Now I'm going too
depiction.
far.
I think the original movie is the best depiction of this book, but I think it
Well,
chapter
I mean, it's set in the
2
right era.
chapter 2 was saved because of Bill Hader.
See,
Yeah.
me and Taylor just watched it
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
It's like,
I think I don't know. I like a lot of the content. I think the pacing killed it.
mhm.
It should not have been 3 hours long. I think it would have worked better as a mini series, as like a limited series,
But you know,
a 10-episode run or something.
Ben, why can't you just enjoy things? Why do you gotta hate on?
Oh,
other
I did
people's
enjoy things. I enjoyed it more than you and Jill.
Yeah.
You guys
Okay.
were like, "Oh, this isn't good," and I was like, "Oh, come on, guys."
Bill
So-
Hader, like, really fucking.
Bill Hader was good.
For that movie.
What's his name? Professor X. He was good too.
Oh,
Oh,
It's
I
a
love
kitty.
him.
Harper.
Yeah.
This is Kinter.
Hi.
oh, that's the one that pees on your bed.
hmm
Aw.
I just want to stretch out my face till it breaks. Oh my goodness. Oh, Harper doesn't love me. Okay. My
Do you hear
cat-
her purr box?
Aw.
No, I don't hear it.
I'll get headphones and make her purr.
My dog's really cute, but he gets boners and it's
Circling
gross.
back, like
It makes me
Elijah,
uncomfortable.
I do think you're right. I do think I have an inane inability to like enjoy things. And oh my god, he's so cute. It's so adorable.
She likes to perch. She's just gonna. Bye.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
And she's gone.
Oh, kittens
And
are
she's
killing
gone.
me.
She'll be back.
I'm on like kitten
How old is she?
fever lately.
She's 11 weeks old.
Oh, wow. Really young.
Okay, so I legitimately, part of the reason I brought up the anime issue is because I kind of wanted to talk about the idea of like what is happening with a group of people right now that are becoming cynical as fuck, and I include myself in that
Mhm.
umbrella of people who have. I personally have a very, very hard time. You know, I know you guys see me do theater and stuff like that, but I can't wrap my head around why people do certain things. Jerking off with your friends and watching anime. Like, I don't.
Do those go hand in
watching
hand?
anime or
But
like
also,
your
like,
friends and
You, I mean,
When
I'm
I
sure there
saw
are
Rock-
people out there who do both at once.
Well, when I saw Rocky Horror, right, I got like pissed off when I found out that it was audience participation. Like, pissed
I've had
off.
a couple of people that have said that. I actually
I
have
kinda
friends
don't
who
like
even
it, yeah.
saw it. saw that it was audience participation, and got up and walked out.
I'd go see any other
I kind of
show.
didn't like the audience participation.
I wanted to
just
watch the
actors.
show and like, yeah, well, we had just done Evil Dead and it was 1 a.m. So I was like, I kind of just want to watch a play. I don't want to be in a play right now and have to go up and everything. And this, you know, like we go in and somebody else bought us our tickets. And y'all, I was like the most childish, most pissed off person ever. And
did you go full Karen?
I did. I do that a lot where
it's not very live, laugh, love of you, Karen.
no, it's not. And I'm trying to be
Fucking
more
Karen.
that. I'm trying to be more like, oh, this thing is happening, so I'm gonna go do it. Oh, these people want to do a D&D game, I'm gonna go write it and stuff. Like, I'm trying to be more accepting, but it's hard for me to do that with a lot of things. So with like anime, I feel like I kind of reserve that right to be upset about. Jamie and I have been talking about the new Final Fantasy VII remake a lot, and how I specifically.
Did you get it?
No, I haven't gotten it because I'm upset about the dialogue, because I think the writing is amazing, but I hear the dialogue is unbearable. And I don't.
It's more than the dialogue; it's the voice acting too. It's just
that's what I mean.
Really,
I don't want a game I've been playing for 20 years to be ruined because of one little detail. Because I couldn't get over it. The story.
Sure you can mute the voices, can't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you mute the voices? That
You can just mute the voices.
way
I'm
better.
pretty sure.
But why did I wait 20 years to play it then?
Because it looks so much better.
Kingdom Hearts, I did the same thing. I did the same. Well, I was coming off drugs during Kingdom Hearts 3, but that was its own experience in of itself.
Yeah.
Like, as I finished that game, I remember crying because I was like, I just wasted 20 years of my life is just out the window because I've been waiting for this children's game, and I beat it, and they're alluding at a sequel, and they can't.
Did you hear dude? They just announced that there's going to be a Disney Plus TV show for Kingdom Hearts.
I did.
How does that work? Like, what the fuck is that?
It's weird because that implies that there's a plot.
Yeah.
That you can follow.
It's not. It's
you only play it for the gameplay. You don't play it.
It's basically a beat 'em up.
Like,
yeah, and I mean, I got so swept up in that rhetoric. When I was playing the third game, you know what I think the third game is about? I think it's about growing up and about not being able to enjoy the old things in your life. I literally, as I'm playing it, and again, I'm like tripping balls. I'm like coming down from some heavy shit and like should not have been on that during a formative moment in my life of going like, I've waited 20 years for this game. And it made me realize that like, oh, the first game is Sora being fun and accepting these things, and the second game is going along with it and things get a little bit better, and then the third game is kind of like having to let those things go. I don't even know. I was tripping hard. It was a good game though. That ending was good to watch at the time, but at the time I was also like sobbing because, and no joke, I'm like on the ground going like, it's all gone. All of that time is gone. And I don't know what to do with it. I wasted my money. I wasted my life on it. And it was just like bringing me down. And I haven't touched the game since I beat it because
that's understandable.
It was hard. And ever since then, I was looking at anime differently before then, but like that experience in particular made it very hard to just go like, I can accept this dialogue. The problem is I think a lot of it is as we're getting older, we look at that dialogue and we go, no wonder I enjoyed it because it was so cheesy, because it appealed to me so easily. And then when we get older and you look at it, and instead of just going, it's so cheesy and appeals to me, if you're a cynic, you start to dissect it, and it's this fucking curse. Like,
I mean, I think a lot of people, I mean, I definitely looked back on things that, like, I watched as a kid and was like, this is so terrible, but, like, I can see why I love it, and I can get that nostalgia, but then there have been things that I've looked back on, and I'm like, this is so bad, and I literally have no clue how I ever thought it was good.
Listen, remember loving The Dark Crystal when I was a kid. Like, I watched it almost every day for a very long time. And I hadn't watched it, in 15, 17 years until they had it come out on Netflix. And I sat there and I watched, and I was just like, wow, this is way creepier than I remember it ever being.
It's pretty fucking cool.
It's
I've never seen it.
I didn't watch it.
I've seen clips of it, but
I got about 10 minutes in, and I was
like,
I was like, I gotta watch this with somebody. This is some badass shit I'm about to see.
Yeah,
Like,
I've never seen Dark Crystal.
Puppets fucking killing
you
each
should
other.
watch it. It's just really weird.
For some reason, I have a T. I have a T-shirt.
Honestly,
for Dark Crystal. I don't know
But
where I
you've
got
never
it.
seen it?
I don't know where I got it. It's just like in my wardrobe.
What are the things?
I was
that,
like, "What is this shirt?" My friend's like, "Oh, that's Dark Crystal." What?
does everybody have a thing that like they look back on and they're like, I want to watch that, but I'm embarrassed to watch it? Because
Probably.
here's the weird thing. I watch
Rick and
Rugrats
Josh
at least every
nowadays.
6 months.
Oh, that's not. You don't frown on Rugrats.
You want to know about Rugrats,
Rugrats is
lore?
actually good,
I am
yeah.
your dude to
Rugrats.
go to.
I remember on the topic of Rugrats, the episode where Charlotte thinks she's having another baby, and Angelica starts
Oh my God,
dreaming of her baby
yes.
brother. Literally, when my mom told me she was pregnant, was like the only thing that could go through my head. That
Oh,
episode
really?
scared the shit out of me.
And like,
I tried rewatching Jimmy Neutron recently, and I couldn't do it.
so I can rewatch Rugrats,
not
but I
as
can't
good.
watch Jimmy Neutron.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
Jimmy Neutron's kind of bad. Yeah.
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
bad, but I still watched it. I still watched it.
I liked it.
Who here likes Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yo, shut!
Every
You
single one
cannot
of
shit on. You haven't finished
I'm
that
not.
show, Taylor.
I'm
so you
not.
can't
You're
shit
I'm
on
not
going
shitting
there.
on
Good.
it. I'm
That's
not
a
about to
national
shit on it.
treasure.
Not
Yeah.
gonna
It's
not gonna say anything
legitimately
negative about
really
it.
well
Nick
written.
Cage is
But-
gonna steal it.
I don't want to hear shit
But-
about Appa. I will fight you
But
over Appa
I-
Wait.
now.
Go ahead, Taylor.
I do not get the same
No.
enjoyment other people get out of it. I don't.
How
I
far
just
in are you?
How far
watch
did
it?
you
Did you
watch?
watch it as a kid though, Taylor?
When I was 15 years old and it came out, and I watched it with my friends all the way through, and we met up every single weekend
Oh,
on
wow.
Friday to sit down and eat cereal and watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the whole reason I did it was to hang out with those guys. Actually, the guy I was telling you guys
Well,
about
so you
earlier
didn't
who moved
enjoy
away.
it. You didn't
that was
enjoy it
last
the
summer
first
with him.
time around, then.
Yeah,
I
if you didn't
did.
enjoy it the first time, then
No,
it's
I
okay.
did.
Then
I did.
you did. Okay.
Yeah, I sat and watched it with my
I think
friends.
for a lot of people, it's like a nostalgia kind of thing.
I do
Yeah.
too.
For me, it's not nostalgia. It's
And-
just I think it's very well
really
written. I mean,
enjoy it.
it's,
Right.
I think it's probably
that.
both.
It's good and it's nostalgia.
I
do
it
think
is
it's
good.
legitimately
but there's,
well
like,
written.
For example, I think I haven't
Zuko is the best
rewatched a
art.
lot of shows from when I was a kid. I mean, there are some staples like SpongeBob. I will rewatch. Fairly Odd Parents. I will rewatch.
No, not the new ones. Not the new
No,
seasons.
not
Of
not the
course,
ones after.
Like the first couple.
Not after Drake Bell started
Okay,
playing Timmy.
But what I'm
Wait, but like
saying
before
is like,
Poof, though?
Oh.
what is the
yeah.
standard we're
A
holding?
live action.
The Jimmy Timmy Power Hours are still
Those
just
were good.
They
Those
were
are all
Okay.
three of those are good.
so
Hold on, hold
Let's
on,
not
hold
forget
on.
an
That's the last
absolute
good
banger,
episode, yeah.
Danny Phantom.
Yes, I love Danny
Absolute
Phantom.
banger.
Yes.
I didn't like Danny Phantom. I
Do
watched
you
it.
like American Dragon?
I
Jake
watched
Long?
it all the way through.
loved
I did
American
not watch
Dragon
American
Jake
Dragon.
Long.
I
watched
hated that show. I'm gonna be honest. I did
Jackie
not
Chan
like it.
Adventures.
Interesting.
Oh,
which is the
Jackie
same
Chan
I
thing.
Adventures was
barely
good.
remember that
Oh,
one.
yo, it was all about Grandpa. It was
Okay.
all about
No,
Grandpa.
okay, you know what TV show I started? I saw somebody
Man.
bring up the other day, and I hated it then, and I hate it now. It was on
What?
Disney Channel, and it was like
Kim Possible.
no, it was like Brandy
How
and
dare
Mr.
you.
Something.
No, because I didn't like Kim Possible
Brandy
at
and
first,
Mr.
but
Something.
now I
Talking
do.
about-
Now I do.
It's like the
was
dog
that?
and the fucking homeless bunny.
Wait,
have
I
no
know what
idea
you're
what
talking
you're
about.
talking about.
I'm gonna Google it. I'm
What are
gonna
you
Google it.
about?
Hold on,
I
I'm
need my
gonna
other
Google it.
headphone.
I want
It was
to
a
watch a show
cartoon,
about a
right?
hobo bunny. That sounds cool.
Brandy and Mr. Whiskers.
Yes. No, I didn't watch it, but I know what you're
Oh,
talking
I don't know.
about.
Oh,
Garbage.
she's lost in the
Garbage.
jungle.
For the record, I hate
They're playing
every Disney
Crash.
Channel show.
I wasn't a Disney
I
Channel
don't like
guy
any.
either. I was
hate every
Nickelodeon
Disney
and Cartoon
channel.
Network.
I loved Nickelodeon,
So
but
you
my
hate
best friend was
Gargoyles?
only allowed to
Gargoyles
watch
was the
Disney
shit.
Oh,
Channel.
Gargoyles was cool.
So in order to
Did you
have a
like
relationship
Zack
with
and Cody?
Victor, I had to watch.
That was like Warner Bros. At first.
Except
So
like High School
you-
Musical. I was a High School Musical girl.
And I mean, I think that's
I was
with a
not
lot of
into
people.
High
Is it's
School
kind of like
Musical.
a social thing. It's
That was
like
just my thing, though.
and you guys noticed that with our generation, this like 10-year length of time of people born from 1990 to 2000, whenever. It's like, oh, what channel did you watch? Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or Disney? And depending on what people say makes you think differently about them. And statistically speaking, I hear from most people, I watched Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, and I didn't watch Disney. Or I watched Disney, and I maybe watched Nickelodeon, but I didn't watch Cartoon Network.
So I think
Nah,
my
dude,
order
all
that
three.
I watched was Disney.
Me
Or
too.
was Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney.
Same
I
here.
watched all
Disney
three.
was always my
I
last
definitely.
resort.
Yeah.
Because Disney didn't have a lot of cartoons. A lot of Disney, like Disney is today, was a
And
lot of
live
live
action.
action.
It was
a
like
lot
Disney
of original
XD.
movies.
That's where I would go.
Disney
Well, so,
XD was the cartoon.
Watch Disney XXD. I'll tell you right now, that's a good
Disney
show. right there.
XXX.
The Olympic
Big
like
old dick
games that they would
dropping
do.
penis XXLD. Disney.
But no, yeah, so I actually didn't have my family had very little cable up until I was like 13 or 14 or something. We had the only like cartoon channel we had was like Warner Bros. Kids. So I saw
so you had like Animaniacs and stuff.
Yeah, like Animaniacs, Batman animated series.
Yeah, the Spider-Man animated series.
Like the basic
Spider-Man, X-Men, Jackie Chan animated series. Up until I was probably like, actually, I think I got cable when I was like 11 or 12. Because I remember watching SpongeBob and.
Shock?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
No.
Static Shock too.
Static
That was a good one.
Shock.
Hold on.
There were a lot of good
Absolute
shows on that
banger.
channel. Yeah.
So when I
Who remembers
lived in,
Dragon Booster?
I don't.
That sounds familiar.
Oh,
Oh, I
never
do
mind.
remember this.
Dragon
Okay.
Tales.
Who remembers
Who
Dragon?
remembers
Dragon.
Maury? Huh?
I saw
Anybody
this
watch
Reading
documentary
Rainbow,
about Maury,
bitches.
and it was,
Reading
have you guys
Rainbow.
seen this? It was a TikTok. And it
Wait,
was like of somebody like pretending to hold like a camera on their shoulder, and it's like the cameraman during Maury, and it's like, and the results say you are, and the cameraman's like,
Oh,
are the
is-
father, are the father,
Oh, the
are
father.
the father. And it's like, are
Wait.
not the father. He's like, "Fuck, no, get out the way. And he's like,
I watched
I
a
forget.
video like
It was
that.
like sometimes I
Do
forget
you-
about the cameraman during Maury, and like how they're probably like thinking about how they just have to sprint.
Wait, can I say one more? Do you guys remember Roly Poly Oly?
Yeah.
Oh, I
You
remember their racism
I
episode.
loved that
was
show.
wild.
guys remember Eureka Castle, or is that too old?
What? No, what's that?
Yeah, I knew that was
I
gonna
don't
be.
think I remember that.
Oh, okay. Let's
Now
see.
I'm thinking about
Oh,
Dragon Tales.
Let's play a game. Let's play a game. You guys get a point if you recognize it. I get a point if you don't recognize it.
The
Okay.
theme songs. Is
You
that what
guys
you're doing?
remember Gullah Gullah Island?
Yo.
No.
Okay. But Elijah,
No.
why do you remember Gullah Gullah Island?
I just remember it being wacky.
Was that it?
Yeah, about it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it.
I don't. I remember a great feeling of wackiness from Gullah Gullah Island.
Yeah, Gullah Gullah Island was a big yellow frog. What
Oh,
about?
cool. So point for us.
There's a point for you guys. What about? Did you guys actually watch Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
No.
No,
Yes.
I didn't
Damn
actually
it,
watch it.
Damn it.
So before we
I
had
know what it is,
cable,
but obviously.
before we had cable, we only had things, and I grew up like with like PBS, and so like I was actually watching Mr. Rogers, and I think I'm
Mr.
pretty
Rogers.
sure I was talking about this with my mom, and I think Mr. Rogers was like my first like experience with death when he passed away.
Death? Oh, okay.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Little Bill.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew you guys would know
It
that.
sounds
So
familiar.
we got three.
I
It
don't
was-
know.
It was about a rapist in New York as a
When he was a
child.
kid.
This is
What?
He was a kid.
pre-rape. This is
Yeah.
pre-rapist Cosby.
Yeah, it's about Bill Cosby when Bill Cosby was a kid.
And they'd be
So,
like,
before
little
rape.
Bill, why you want to eat gumballs? And he'd be like, 'cause I want to rape that lady over there. Hey.
No, he did not.
Oh my god. I don't think it's accurate, Taylor.
It's an accurate show. They would
Caillou.
recreate
not-
different moments.
Did anybody watch
Yeah, more-
Caillou? I watched.
Yes, I
Caillou.
love
No.
Caillou.
I actually
Caillou was
watched
I know that
Annoying.
name, but I
That's
don't
how I know
what it
you
is.
guys are babies.
We watched
98.
Because you guys watched
1998.
Caillou, yeah.
1998. I'm not the baby.
I was born in 98.
Wait,
I was
Jack,
born in 97.
Blue's Clues is still going, right?
Oh wow, you're both.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm 95.
They're on their third host.
94.
Steve, Joe, and whoever.
94, 95.
What about
94, 95, 90.
Taylor, you're 93, right?
97, 90.
97,
91, my
93.
friend?
Oh.
91.
What about
Right. You're an old bastard.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember back. Damn it, these days, these fucking
about-
kids.
Hi, Puffy Amiyumi.
Yo!
Would
What?
not be
Wow, I
far
don't know
back
what that
enough
is.
for me.
Shaolin Showdown.
Yes.
One cartoon that I keep thinking of. It was like of a Siamese cat that painted with her tail.
Sagwa.
There we go.
Yes.
I used to watch that when I was younger.
I don't know what that
Franklin
is.
I loved
the
it.
Turtle.
Yes.
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 Oh, shit.
I've heard of that. I
I
might
love
have.
Franklin.
Little
Just
Bear.
I have to dream.
Little
Little
I was going to say that
the
was my next gun to
Berenstein
pull out.
Stein Bears.
What
Bear
about
in the Big
The
Blue
Wind
House.
in the Willows?
Oh,
I know the name. See, I know the name
The
for a lot of
box.
things things, but I can't think of
Out
anything.
of the
Yeah.
box.
I'm about to say that
Out of
actually.
the box, I did
Out
see.
of the
so that's
box.
a
See, we're
point for me.
naming
Out of the
PBS
box.
TV shows right
You
now.
guys remember
These are
how
all
the ending
PBS.
of that
Except PBS.
show was?
Of what?
This is what the podcast is. This is literally, it's just naming children's shows. Bear in the Big Blue House.
Wait, what about yeah, I know
Damn
Bear in
it.
the Big Blue House.
That was
That was a
Disney.
good one.
What about
Well, it doesn't work if you guys
Arnold?
do it.
Arnold, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
no, I've
Arnold.
seen
Hey,
Arnold.
Arnold.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it
No,
doesn't,
not Hey Arnold.
No.
Arnold.
but that's what I'm saying is it doesn't work if you guys do it because you guys have probably seen, like if I name it, it might be old. But if you
Okay,
name
yeah, so
it,
we're not allowed to
Might
talk.
be young.
Only Taylor.
Yeah,
but
you're not
Taylor,
allowed to
we're doing
talk.
one
That's
thing
what it
you don't
is.
know, so.
it's
You're
what it
only
is.
3 years
Well, I
older
can
than me,
guarantee
Taylor.
you
Relax.
that no one other than Jamie knew about Sagwa.
No, she has little ruffles around her neck.
Okay, yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're good.
How does the original Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs end?
I'm sorry, original?
Like the
No.
book.
The original
There-
book. How does the original book? It's not a TV show, but point for Taylor.
Don't they get like crushed?
Because I'm making the rules as we go.
Oh,
The book
I was thinking of
ends-
Arthur, not Arnold.
Arthur.
Yo!
Oh, okay, that's different.
The
The
way-
bunny.
The fist
Oh,
meme.
yeah, Buster.
You know?
The fist, yes.
Listen,
That first gay
Arthur.
character in a children's show.
Mr.
First gay
Rabbit.
What, Buster?
DJ.
No,
Is Buster gay?
The teacher.
The-
The teacher.
the
The
rat.
teacher's gay.
Yeah.
Also,
Really?
DJ is definitely going to grow up to be a lesbian.
Definitely. Definitely.
You
DW.
mean DW?
DW.
Yeah,
DW.
Nerd. All right. So, fucking.
Double D? And then Nettie?
Double.
What was it? What was this? What did I say? What did I say? It was that.
I don't know.
Did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Claudia was
said-
just
How the ending was in the book.
everybody
yeah.
fucking dies and has to leave the island.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mic drop.
They all get crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Can you still hear me?
I've never seen the movie. I've
Okay.
only.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay, because I dropped this on something metal. Yeah. People like get run over by fucking donuts. There's a part where a pizza falls on a building and people are stuck inside. Like
So it's
I
like
was.
I would have ate my way
but
out.
dramatic.
There's their
You
trip.
want to
Like
talk
what?
about adapting the book to a movie? The movie fucked up.
It
Everybody
could be like
dies.
R-rated, yeah.
They
They should do another version where it's like ultra violent.
Can I tell? So did you guys ever have like weird books you read as a kid? I talked about The Day My Butt Went Psycho last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I was
where
like, who was the person
What
who
was the one book where like lima beans was the cure, and it was like girl that had stripes?
Oh, a case of too many stripes.
There we go. A case of too many stripes.
Yeah, that book was the shit. Or Westlandia.
Mhm.
Fucking
that one.
what was it?
It's just
Westlandia
turned
is about
into
a
the nostalgia hour.
this boy,
I guess so, yeah.
he decides he's gonna, it's kind of like Frindle, except it's more fanciful. He's like, I'm gonna make my own country. And so he makes his own country in his backyard and people can visit. And it's fucking stupid. I thought like reading this book, I was like, oh, so you start a country and you get a new fruit. Like that happens in the book. He starts a country in his backyard and then just a new fruit starts growing out of the
What
ground.
happens when you play Animal Crossing?
That's what's fucked up about kids' books. It's
Wait, do
like-
you have Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
it's ruining people's lives right now. It's pretty
Yeah.
great.
I'm frustrated with it at the moment, actually.
I
You have-
leave
okay.
violent
I
We
messages.
need to all visit each other's islands.
Amiibos because I really wanted Diana and Lucky.
You,
Oh.
That's pretty great.
you mean amiibos?
Yeah, whatever the fuck they're called. I don't care.
Amiibos.
So we all need to invite each other on Animal Crossing. But let's talk
Amiibo.
about that for a second.
That's
I
a
have
What
a
are-
question.
What?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Everyone here plays Animal Crossing. I don't, but here everyone kind of plays Animal Crossing. Has any out of all the people here, who has seen Tiger King?
I have not.
Okay, so then I'm gonna need you
Spoilers.
guys to go to YouTube and look up. I think it's called their Flash Skits. Let me look it
Taylor,
up real
this is
quick.
your job.
Oh, did someone
Flash
make like an
Kits?
island that's Tiger King?
No, they
Okay.
made a video which combined Tiger King and Animal Crossing together. Animal Crossing Tiger King by Flash Skits. It is very bad, and I mean bad by it's yikes. It's a lot of. It's a
So
lot.
we shouldn't watch it
like
right now
it's so
together?
it's like is it like cringe YouTube territory?
It's a little cringy, but
I mean cringe YouTube.
I'm gonna stop it right
you need to see it. That's what I mean. Like
No.
it's bad. But
I
it's
thought you
so
meant like
great.
the actual game Animal Crossing was Tiger King-y or something.
Oh my god.
Goddamn.
No, have you seen some of
Can
the?
you just play
have you
the rest
seen-
of it, Taylor, please?
Taylor, just edit it out. Just
What
edit it out.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get flagged for showing other people's stuff. Is the only problem.
No, just edit it out. Just edit it out.
I can't. I'm not editing any of this. Like I haven't edited any of the podcasts.
This is
so far. They've all
how
been-
we start.
I always thought you did.
I put in stuff, but like I'm not taking out anything really. Like I
We'll just give them credit and we can finish it.
They are Flash Skits on
It's the
YouTube.
fact-
FLAS.
it's not that it's that I'm
ITZ.
white and straight and the second they're like are you gay, I'm like I'm gonna get fucking sued for this.
Taylor, were you not here for the whole first part of this podcast?
This is where I'm at. This I'm like the
Is
second
this
I
where
hear
you draw
things.
the line? Is Tiger is giving Zucky meth and asking him if he's gay is where we draw the line?
Wait.
I thought it was the
okay.
penguins.
Okay.
The penguins is where we draw the line.
You're like fine, I'll show.
Fucking scared of, man.
And it only gets worse from here. I love it.
Let's watch Isabel ruins everything. That looks good.
Oh, Isabel also makes an appearance in this. It's fucking great.
Is she Carol Baskin?
Yes.
Take it away from me.
Oh my god. Wait, have you
I'm so
seen this,
happy.
Diana?
Okay. I don't want to. We're running out of time. Right? Oh my god. Okay,
Wait.
that was-
Speaking of Animal Crossing, have you guys seen like somebody remade Deal or No Deal, the game show, on an island?
No, that's funny though.
You know,
They've done like crazy shit like that. It's pretty.
I wish
cool.
Animal Crossing was like easier to use because
Mhm.
it feels like everybody's doing. What did Jamie? Didn't you do your graduation ceremony over?
I did, but I didn't get people
everybody.
Wow.
full
Jamie just
access to my
graduated from
island.
school, from college.
Congratulations!
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Congratulations.
Most
Thanks.
people don't do that.
Congratulations.
Good on you. How do you feel? Do you feel
I feel
fulfilled?
free. The chains have been
It is a
released.
freeing feeling.
Chains have been
Cheers.
released, and you feel like a true human being now at this point.
No, not quite.
So
Once you get the PlayStation representative, Carl, then you'll feel complete.
yeah. Well, so how's that going? So you've been applying to places lately.
I've been applying to that, and I don't know, there are a few things I want to do with my life. I want to work for a video game company, and another thing is I kind of want to be a voice actor for a video game company,
that'd be
or
awesome.
like for a cartoon. Or
And you're a
sort of
very eloquent
animation.
speaker. I think that'd be good for you too.
Oh, thank you. But I
Like,
also
so-
really want to work administration in a university, which seems off from the other two things I said.
So
But you know,
what's your major in then?
I was an English major.
An English major, minor?
I did not have a minor, but I was the kind of English major who did not like to read or write. I liked grammar and the history of English and
it's
all
one
that
of
stuff.
you.
Well, I also like medieval. Okay, I did like medieval literature.
I am so offended.
Medieval literature is very fun.
Are you
I
all
let you
English majors?
Hug me.
I think we are. Well, except for Diana, right?
Diana, what are you?
You were theater, yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, she's even more fucked, you guys. Oh wow.
It gets worse. It gets worse. I was theater, and then I thought about double majoring in theater and English, and then I ended up leaving school. But now I'm going back to school for psychology.
Ooh.
Oh,
Really?
That's cool.
Yeah, I want to be.
That'd
I
be
want to
worse.
get my. It's gonna take a while, but I want to get my doctorate, and I want to become a forensic psychologist.
Wow.
Nice.
Good luck. I almost wanted to minor in theater, but I believe I was talking to some of you, but after actually participating in like real theater, like going into the community with the fourth wall, I kind of just decided, well, I don't need classes because I feel like I've had the real experience by becoming a part of the fourth wall.
And can I just
That's
say,
fair.
like,
You don't need to be a major in theater to be an actor.
yeah, I don't think
That's
you
true.
do. And like,
You're not going to get the role because they're like, oh, I see you have a bachelor's degree. I'll
They'll give you the role
pencil you in for the
specifically-
lead role.
They'll
Yeah.
give you the role specifically. They won't give you the role specifically because you have a bachelor's degree.
Like, oh, you have a
fucking hard to say.
or like a master's in theater. Like, what the fuck are you doing there? Like,
yeah.
Waste of
a
time.
doctorate.
Clearly, they
My
don't
mom has her
understand
master's in
well.
theater.
yeah. I hope Dr. Cuomo doesn't watch this.
My mom's gonna listen to this.
Just
She's
have-
gonna be insulted.
A bachelor's in English. I wanted to do all other things, but I realized that I was broke, so there's only one way we're gonna get through this, and that's the quickest and easiest route.
That's true.
Because I've officially paid off $10,000 to my student loans.
Keep going.
Another
Keep going. Stop
$24,000
talking.
to
Keep
go.
talking. Keep talking. Keep going.
Another $24,000 to go for my student loans, and it's pretty crippling, honestly, when you really think about it. I've paid off a car before I've ever paid off my student loans, and it's another 6 years of this.
That's why I kind
And
of.
are you making a beat under my woes? Listen, I'm just running through my 6 with my woes, okay?
Looks like college was worth it.
Ugh.
I don't know, it doesn't guarantee
Ain't
anything.
a piece of shit. You succeeded in all
College was worth it, though.
I'm such a.
It was fun.
covered your asses.
Taylor kind of sounds like Dad from
It was
Taylor,
fun.
Oregon. It's because I fucking did the show with Taylor.
Yeah,
It was fun.
girl, you got your
Yeah, that's weird. He
degree.
sounds exactly like the dad. Huh.
Yeah.
Sounds like Jeff Blim.
He sounds like Jim Carrey.
Nah, I want us to do Puff. I want to do Puff so bad. The Harry Potter fan in me is begging for it.
You want to do which show?
Puffs.
Very part of musical.
No, Puffs. It's
What's
not
Puffs?
it's not a Star Kid show. It's a non-Star Kid show, and it's all
So it's
7
every other
books
show.
of the Harry Potter series told from the point of view of the Hufflepuffs.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, so them doing nothing?
No, it's fucking hilarious. It is like
Are you a Hufflepuff, Diana?
No, I'm a Slytherin.
That's good. I was
No,
making
but
sure.
I went and saw it when Sutter Street did it, and I didn't really expect it to be like good, but I went and saw it because I had friends in it, and I'm a Harry Potter fan, and it was hilarious. And then I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, you know who's a funny group of people? Fourth Wall. We could make this shit hilarious.
Yeah.
Probably.
Right, girl. You know what you're talking about. Let's say it again. We went to college. Got a pussy wet on my mouth. Break it down. Till the regular down now. Got your education. Spending over $30,000. Maybe got a loan for that share. Was it worth the time? I don't know. Carry down,
Oh,
Oh, the kid is asleep and she's gonna be on a dream tonight because she doesn't know what's wrong or right. She don't got no college education. She just gonna smooth and get carnation. Oh, college was worth it, worth my money, even though I don't have any applicable skills. Girl, college is worth it money. Even though I don't have any applicable skills. Don't got no social education. College. Don't know how to fill a W-4, W-2, or a 1099. Even though I don't have any applicable skills. Don't got no social education. Everybody. Listen, tell me about your problems right now. Growing up, you guys, you all got your education, yeah? Y'all feeling great? Well, good, because life's only gonna get worse from here on out. And the best thing you can do is kill yourself. Or try other things. You don't have to do that. That can be other things in your life. Maybe you could take up pottery, or you could take up pottery is probably the only thing at this point that's going to be new to you, because everything else so far has just been an artistic pursuit. Yeah. You made your artistic pursuit, and you kept it kind of vague, so that way your degree can apply to different places, and you can work with different races. Oh wait, there I go again, bringing up race again. Can't do that shit. Gotta get to come to bring it back around, and I'm gonna talk about race again. But you know, we're gonna, one more time. Why you gotta keep every single, nope, not going back to the race thing again. We're gonna talk about education and college. College. My money was worth it. My money was worth it. College. My money was worth it. My money was worth it. College.
Take out your pussy, bitch. Put it on the table. This is our last minute we got going. Thanks you guys for hanging around with us. You know how it, okay, this voice is, try it back. Thank you guys for thanks you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it. And, it's gonna seem awkward, but you can say whatever you want. I love you all, and I appreciate you guys for not thinking of me as offensive as I was presenting myself as.
You're good.
Go take care of yourselves. Foray off into the night. Elijah specifically, I'm apologetic for no particular reason. I had to get one more in.
That's fair.
Everybody